Republican Senator John Kennedy had explained to him by Attorney General Merrick Garland why one of these narratives we've heard from those within the GOP and the right wing about the Justice Department just going after parents who were trying to do their free speech. And of course, it's a dishonest narrative. John Kennedy is pushing that dishonest narrative. Merrick Garland corrects him very effectively. This is was during a hearing that was done where Merrick Garland was asked all these different questions and grilled about largely dishonest talking points from those within the GOP. But take a look at this. Just instantly, in real time, John Kennedy gets explained to him why he's being so dishonest.
Didn't you understand the chilling effect that it would have to parents when you issued your directive, when you directed your criminal divisions and your counterterrorism divisions to investigate parents who were angry?
And what he's talking about, if you probably remember, during kind of the heat of COVID, there were all these school board meetings where parents were going and angry about COVID policies. And that's fine. You can be angry about policies you don't like and share your free speech. That's perfectly great. Merrick Garland will make that clear. What the tiny little bit John Kennedy and others are trying to blossom a whole story out of is the fact that the Justice Department, during that same time, because there were threats of violence and the Justice Department was trying to prevent violent acts against school board members and public officials, were making sure they were active and aware of the reality on that front to make sure those school board members, public officials were protected, not to silence free speech. No parents were going to be bothered if they were going there, and even if they were getting upset, that's perfectly fine. It was the violence and the potential for violence that they were concerned with, because some people were taking it way too far.
At school boards and administrators during COVID?
So, Senator, if you just give me a moment to put the full context, I did not do that. I did not issue any memorandum directing the investigation of parents who were concerned about their children. Quite to the contrary, the memorandum that you're talking about says at the very beginning of the memorandum that vigorous public debate is protected by the First Amendment. And the kind of concerns that you're talking about are, as expressed by parents, are of course completely protected. The memorandum was aimed at violence and threats of violence against a whole host of school personnel. It was not aimed at parents making complaints to their school board. And it came in the context of a whole series of other kinds of violent threats and violence against other public officials.
Right. So, of course, we want the Justice Department to be concerned with the safety of public officials. And during this time, during all these debates over COVID policy, there was tons of perfectly acceptable and protected free speech arguments going on. That's not what's being discussed or what should be discussed at all. And the Justice Department wasn't going after that. They were making sure, and they were concerned with, and they were recognizing the violent threats that were being made. That's what they were targeting. And what John Kennedy and others are trying to do, and this is a strategy you see a lot within kind of dishonestly politically motivated populations, is you take a kernel of truth, okay? It was during and related to the school board meetings and the anger over COVID policies, and you turn that into people peacefully sharing their free speech are being targeted, when in reality, it wasn't in reference to those people. It was the others who were making violent threats. And it really is how you perpetuate these incredibly dishonest and dangerous talking points and make people think they're being targeted, make people think they're in danger and the government has become tyrannical, when that's not the reality at all. So to close this segment out, I want to show you Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn at this same hearing just revealing how unserious it all is and showing where she gets her information from. She's going to send Merrick Garland some good verified sources to prove him wrong.
You told me earlier that you didn't know who Jane's Revenge is. They are all over Twitter. I'm going to do you a favor. I am going to send you a letter with a whole lot of Twitter and different feeds to help you in that investigation for the Hope Clinic. You told
She's going to send him so many Twitter links, he is not going to know what to do, and he's going to be proven so dang wrong. If you want to reach out to the show, you can do so at lukebeasleyshow.com/contact. I will hear from you there. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get the full bonus show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley. Link in the description.